So what is the new gotcha question liberals have crafted to derail Republicans in the 2016 campaign? It's the following 12-word question you will likely hear a lot more of throughout the campaign season, and here it is. Would you attend the gay wedding of a friend or family member? If the candidate dares to avoid the question, preferring to discuss such mundane issues as foreign policy, terrorism, or immigration, it's to no avail. The reporter will simply repeat the gotcha question. Would you attend a gay wedding of a friend or family member? Even if the candidate throws a forum on how to stop ISIS or balance the budget, the question will still be, would you attend the gay wedding of a friend or family member? Such profound journalism. So what's a candidate to do? They need publicity, so they allow the liberal news organizations to attend their events. But on the other hand, they know that the question is on par with, do you still beat your wife? Either way, they lose. But Joseph Farah of WND.com has come up with the antidote to that question. He urges candidates simply to answer, quote, your liberal bias is growing abundant, unquote. Next question. Would you attend the gay wedding of a friend or family member? Same answer. Your liberal bias is glowingly abundant. Historian Paul Kenger warns that Republicans are simply setting themselves up for failure if they fall for this trap. He advised GOP candidates to, quote, firmly respond that things like this have nothing whatsoever to do with being president of the United States, with cutting taxes and the deficit, with restoring economic growth, and with fighting ISIS. They have everything to do with liberal journalists trying to corner and take down Republicans. I would tell Republicans to look the journalist in the eye and say, quote, what you're doing here is totally transparent. Your political bias is glowingly apparent. Stop it, unquote. Rick Santorum declared publicly he would not attend a same-sex marriage, saying, quote, that would be a violation of my faith, unquote. But current presidential hopeful Ted Cruz rejected the question, saying it is hypothetical and that the real issue usurping marriage authority from the states. John Kasich told his homosexual friend that he would attend his quote-unquote marriage ceremony. Scott Walker already attended a friend's homosexual wedding reception. During an interview on Face the Nation, Bob Schaefer broadsided Marco Rubio with the question, quote, is homosexuality a choice, unquote. Rubio was on record saying he's willing to attend such ceremonies, answering by saying, quote, sexual preferences is something people are born with. Huh? Sexual preference? That's something you're born with? How can a newborn baby make a quote-unquote preference or make a quote-unquote choice? Bottom line, once a candidate even dignifies as normal any of these horrendously immoral behaviors such as homosexuality or abortion that liberals have foisted upon our country as being acceptable choices, they've already lost. Instead, if asked a gotcha question about abortion or sex, the candidate might be well advised to answer the reporter with a couple of questions of his own. Like, do you think a newborn baby should have the right to be born? And if so, should they also have the birthright to any sexual preference they so desire, including having a sexual affair with your spouse tonight? Oh, and should they be allowed to be pro-choice, including being allowed to murder whomever they choose, whenever they choose, including you? But before they totally freak out over your question, assure them that you're pro-life and that you don't advocate killing anybody, born or unborn. And further reassure them that you do not espouse adultery and you never would have adultery with their spouse because you're pro-traditional marriage and pro-biblical morality.